Hello, chismosas y chismosos, and welcome back to Bay Area Housewife of True Crime, where I like to tell the stories of the real cucuys and lloronas of the world. I'm Audrey, a paralegal turned stay-at-home mom who loves true crime. As a reminder, topics may be triggering. Viewer and listener discretion is very strongly advised. The people mentioned are innocent until proven guilty in court. With all that being said, grab your hot Cheetos and let's dive back into my Hans Reiser series, part 10. Prosecution's second witness was 7-year-old Rory, who testified that his mom took him and his sister to his dad's house on September 3rd, and that his dad told him and his sister to stay downstairs and not to go upstairs. Rory said that he did not hear any arguments and that he saw his mom walk out the front door of the house. Rory also added that his dad took them to school on Tuesday, September 5th, and told them that he would be the one picking them up from school. Rory also testified that his parents argued, quote, every time my mom would drop me off at my dad's house, end quote. It was determined that Nyorleen was too young to have remembered exactly what happened on September 3rd. Next up was Anthony Sografos, Nina's boyfriend, who testified that Rory and Neo had been turned against Nina. Anthony testified that he had witnessed Rory telling her that she was a liar and wanted to, quote, steal their dad's money. Next up on the stand was Bev, the woman who birthed a real-life cucuy, y tal palo tal astilla, which is a Mexican saying that does not directly translate to the apple does not fall far from the tree, but that's what it means. Let me know in the comments what you think tal palo tal astilla is translated to in English. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Bev testified that her son thought Nina was, quote, very neurotic, that she projected ailments on Rory that he did not have, that she was a liar, that her son did not feel Nina spent enough time with the kids, and that she left them with babysitters too much. Up next was Shelley Gordon, Nina's divorce attorney, who testified that the Reisers' divorce proceedings were extremely hostile and acrimonious, and that in her entire career only a few cases had been very hostile, and this was one of them. Up next were OPD officers who testified how Hans would play cat and mouse games with them, specifically on September 18th, 2006, when he went as far and used a taxi as a decoy. On December 14th of 2006, Hans fired Cheryl Hicks, his family law attorney, and Arthur Mitchell began to represent him. Hans was laughing when cops testified how he wasted their time, but he was not laughing when the preliminary trial resumed on December 18th, and criminalist Shannon Cavness testified that the bloodstains found on a sleeping bag sack found inside the Honda CRX Hans drove matched Nina's DNA profile. The criminalist also testified that a blood stain found on a pillar in the living room where Hans lived also matched Nina's DNA. Few days before Christmas, as a Christmas as a holiday gift, Miss Irina got permission from Alameda County CPS to take Rory and Nio to Russia. They had only one condition of being back in court on January 16th of the new year of 2007. When January 16th rolled around, Miss Irina failed to return to the U.S. and through her attorney notified CPS, the DA, Hans teams, and the court on the advice of Rory's psychologist that it would be in his best interest that he stay in Russia as he was traumatized by his mom's absence. The lawyer also asserted that the Russian courts were seeking legal custody of the Reiser children. Miss Irina was also in the process of obtaining legal guardianship of the children in Russia. On March 28th of 2007, Alameda County Commissioner Rhonda Burgess declared Rory and Nio juvenile court dependents, formally removing them from their parents' care and placed them in the care of their maternal grandmother, Irina Sharonova, in St. Petersburg, Russia. Miss Irina was also made able to make educational and medical decisions for them and was free to travel with them internationally. The commissioner also ruled that any visits with Hans would not be appropriate and that the only contact he would have would be through written letters that would be screened by CPS and Miss Irina. In April of 2007, Rory wrote his dad a letter saying, "From Rory, on my birthday, my best present is Nina. Where is Nina?" He wrote and asked his dad, "Where is Nina?" 9 times. This is when Rory starts disassociating and transitions from calling his mom to calling her by her government name, Nina. On April 12th of 2007, Sean Sturgeon dropped a bomb that would be the most shocking twist to this case, maybe. During his pre-trial meeting with prosecutor Paul Hora at the Renee C. Davidson courthouse, the DA told Sean that he could not afford to be surprised on the witness stand. And that's when Sean told the DA that he had killed 8.5 times. Between 1972 and 1995, Sean went on a drug-induced revenge rampage and kill-billed the pedophiles who had abused him during his childhood. But the half victim were his abusers. The half victim was the daughter of one of his abusers, whom Sean felt was partly responsible for the molestation. During a hike, Sean bit her neck and drank her blood and then hit her in the head with a rock. Sean was not sure if she was dead, hence the term half victim. This litany of truth bombs came out so out of left field when he dropped this bomb to police and even myself. Like, it sounds made up, but like, it also feels like trying to one up someone in the most horrible way. Some internet sleuths think it was Sean's way to completely sabotage his time on the stand.